who are the biblical Israelites? Who are the biblical Israelites? The Israelites. Who are the biblical Israelites? The Israelites that's actually in this Bible. Who are they? Because this Bible here, when you actually start reading it, I mean, just literally like opening the Bible and reading what's inside, it doesn't take long for you to get to, I know this is not happening. Oh my, it is hilarious. I've been out, it always happens. I don't know if you're in the room. Shalom, shalom, Gia, good to see you, I see you. I've been sitting out here preparing for the last hour. There has been no interruptions. It was quiet. I made sure I found a really quiet spot. And as soon as I started talking, here comes not only a semi-truck, but he's carrying a tractor, some kind of a tractor that I ain't never seen in my life. What is that? Oh my goodness. Woo, it's good to be in the room with you all, Zion. Somebody say, here they come. Hey, some of y'all been following me for so long, you're like, I don't even know sometimes how they can even like, it happens every time. Woo-wee. But as always, we are not the easy giving up type. And we just let the heathen go on and do what he got to do. And he came all the way over here just to make a U-turn and go, okay. Well, anyway, Zion, I want to make sure y'all can hear me. If you can hear me, put a 12 in the chat. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to look in the chat just to see if I see a 12, if y'all can hear me okay. And you can see me all right. It don't have to be perfect, just okay. All right, I see Melody, Gia, Bruce. Oh yeah, they moving now. All right, Toda Rabah for them 12s. Let's go back to with my question. And to all of you, welcome in the room. And by the way, I always forget to say this. Hit the like on the video. It's really not hard to do. The like button will help them circulate the videos. Will help them, the algorithms, y'all know how that works. Because YouTube's not gonna do it. And I don't blame them. And of course, we appreciate you participating in the chat. And of course, if you have not done it, and you've been watching these videos for a while, why don't you subscribe to the channel? Because we try to post often. We will be posting at different times. I think I told you all that, especially during the summer months. And I'm gonna try though to have them, the majority of the ones during the week. I'm gonna try my best. Y'all are not gonna believe this. Y'all not gonna believe this. This heathen. I wish I could show you because you all won't believe what I'm saying. This heathen, when I started teaching today, on this quiet place where there was no noise at all. I've been out here preparing for almost an hour just to make sure that nobody's making no noise, nobody's coming around. And I said, all right, this is a good spot. And as soon as I started, this truck decided that this is where he wants to come. This is where right here by my car, right on the other side of my car. This is where he wants to stop his rig. And this is where he wants to unload a bulldozer. Do you understand? I can't make it up. I just looked over there. It's a real bulldozer. A bulldozer right by my car. I think he's about to fire it up. So if he does, it might get noisy for a minute, but we live. I can't edit. I can't cut this out. We live. Oh boy. I couldn't make this up in a million years. All right. So let's get back to the lesson. Let's see if we can get to the lesson. Where was I? Oh. So the Bible has in it a people group. There's actually, when you read this Bible, once you get past Genesis chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, right? You get into Noah and that story. When you get to chapter, and I won't even go through that, but by the time you get to chapter 10 or 11, the Bible starts to focus. And the focus goes from all, them heathens making so much noise. Anyway, the focus goes from all of humanity, right? And it begins to move from the majority of all humanity down to a particular people group that he's going to focus on for the remainder of the entire Bible. So the Bible will have, like, it starts off obviously with Adam, and then there's a bunch of children, there's a bunch of things that happen, and then of course the world is populated at Noah. It bottlenecks to Noah. Noah has 3 children, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The world is populated again, and then the scriptures narrow it back down through Eber. That's where we get the word Hebrew. And then, of course, one of the great grandsons of Eber is Abraham. And this is what people don't understand, is that Abraham has a gang of kids. And I gotta remember to come back to that point. But remember that Abraham has a gang of kids. He don't just have 2 children. He has children he has a child not only by Sarah, but he has a child by Hagar. And then he also has children by Keturah. And then he has sons and daughters by concubines. Abraham didn't just have 2 children. Abraham had a lot of kids. How you know, Morey? Because I'm one of them. I'm one of his great grandkids. I'm talking about my grandpa. Yes, that's my grandpa. He got a gang of children. Which, if you saw the thumbnail, I'm talking about Israel. But what I want you to see in this lesson is there's a physical family. There's an actual blood family, like kids. It's physical. Abraham has physical children. If you all understand what the Moreh just said, I told you the heathens was going to start that thing up. I know you probably can't hear it that well, but anyway, if you understand what I said, put a 100 in the chat. That Abraham actually had a bunch of children. Put a 100 in the chat. Because some of y'all didn't know that. Some of y'all thought he only had 2 kids. It's not the script. Let me look in the chat. Oh, wow. The hundreds is rolling. Hallelujah. 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 I know somebody is wanting to know script for that. So let me go ahead and we're going to go to Genesis. Let's see. All right, Genesis 25. Go on, put Genesis 25 in the chat, please. Genesis 25. So you already know about Hagar's child. That was Isaac. I'm sorry, that was Ishmael. We know that Sarah's son is Isaac. Abraham has more kids, more children. All right? We're talking about Abraham. Then again, Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah. And she bare him Zimram, verse 2, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua. And here's some grandkids. And Jokshan begat Sheba, and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were Asherim, and Letushim, and Leumim. And the sons of Midian were Ephath, and Epher, and Haknah, and Abida, and Elada. All these were children of Keturah. It's Bible. This is Abraham's wife now. Keturah was his wife. He married her. These are legitimate children of Abraham. Y'all like, wait a minute, Maury, where are you going? You should know by now. When you come in the room with the Maury, you come in this room because you're trying to see something that you've never seen before, and I'm showing it to you. We have to see the scripts like we've never seen the scripts before. We have to begin to understand our Bible the way it was written, so that we can survive the apocalypse, so we can make it through the end. You need to see that Abraham got a gang of children. Now that I prove that, and it's been proven now, go back to Genesis. Go back to Genesis 12. You ready? Put Genesis 12 and 1 in the chat, please. Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Now Yahuwah had said unto Abraham, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I'll show you. Watch. And I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. Do you see these words? And I will bless them that bless you. Do you see it? And curse them that curse you. And in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So you saw it. If everybody saw that, as the more we read it, put a 1,000 in the chat. Let me get another drink of this water. It's already starting to get hot out here, so stay hydrated. Jazz might be in the chat and be questioning me. You drinking enough water out there? So, oh yes, the 1,000 is in the chat. All right, 200 baht. When you see this Abrahamic blessing, the blessing is clear that the blessing goes to Abraham's children. There is nothing in here that does not point to his children. This is Abraham's children. This is his offspring. And we just read that Abraham had a gang of kids. He had a gang of children. The blessing is to the children of Abraham, not to one child, not to one person, but to all of the Abrahamic nations. Those are all the children of Abraham. So if I broke it down a little, if I could break it down and leave a little plainer for y'all, I would tell you, and if you could see it, you would see that all of Abraham's children automatically fall into the Abrahamic blessing. This blessing. Everyone. There's not a one. You can't look at a child of Abraham and say that person, that child is not blessed, because you will be misrepresenting the scriptures. This verse is to the Abrahamic descendants. And I just read you the names in chapter 25, and then I took you back to the blessing in chapter 12. Now, I don't even have to keep going with this, because obviously we know the story. So, do you all remember a little while ago when I taught the lesson, I was teaching the lessons on blessings. And I showed you that the idea of the word bless is to bend the knee so that Yah comes down to your level and he sees or meets you eye to eye or meets you face to face. If you remember those videos, and I said that's the main idea of the biblical idea of blessing. If you remember those videos, put a 100,000 in the chat, and I'm gonna look. If you remember those videos that I was doing while breaking down the word blessings, in this case Barak and Barakah, put 100,000 in the chat. Ariel put it in there. Gia got it. Okay, I see everybody now. Cole, Valerie, and oh yeah, they running now. Hallelujah. So you all remember that. Okay. Remember that the word blessing then is when Yah stoops down and meets a person where they are, like a father, because that's what he is to us. Just like a father stoops down to speak to his little child face to face in order to give them something or to bless them. Right? It's a beautiful picture. All right? So, this is what Yah promises to do. Not just to Abraham. What more, right? No, not just to Abraham, but to Abraham's children. I'm gonna prove it. Physical children. His blood children. We gonna fix it in this video if Abaya let me. We gonna fix it in the video. Blood children. We gonna see this, that this blessing goes to the blood. Go to chapter 16. Stay in Genesis. Go to chapter 16. And by the way, if you liking this video is encouraging you and giving you insight, opening your eyes to truth. Support this work through your tithes. Support this work through your offerings. It's the biblical way to do it. It's the way Yah has set it up to keep me in the ministry full time. It's through your tithe. And before you start looking at everybody else, everybody knows that this is a YouTube, that this ministry primarily puts out videos on YouTube. We don't own a facility right now where we have regular services, don't have a large congregation that meets, or an assembly that meets all the time. You are my assembly. And the faith that it takes to believe that Yah is speaking to you to support this work, I think is a high level, because as I often tell y'all, the house of Israel for me is not a side hustle. I don't do this on the side to make a couple of bucks. No, the more is 100% all in. And my prayer is only that you would be 100% all in from your side. I do everything I can to help you, and I pray that you would do what you can to help us. All right, Genesis 16, we all there? Oh, and how to do it is in the chat. And Todah Rabbah. Is a heathen coming through here with a... I'm gonna have to find a different spot next time. All right, let's go into this. Let's look at Genesis chapter 16. All right. Now Sarah, Abraham's wife, bare him no children. That's it. Somebody just said never fail. I know. Okay. Now let's get this text. Now Sarah, Abraham's wife, bare him no children. And she had a handmaid. Listen. This is her handmaid. She worked in the house for Sarah. And she was an Egyptian. She was a Hamite. This handmaid was a Hamite. She was an Egyptian. Which, by the way, most likely her skin was very black, very dark. Just like Abraham is very dark, and just like Sarah is very dark. You got to fight those European images. You must fight those whitewashed images that you have in your mind when you think of Abraham. Abraham probably resembled the Moreh, just older. Why? Because that's my grandpa. He probably resembled you or your grandfather. Remember, bloodline, blood and genes are digital. All right, so when you're looking at me, you're looking at an image of Abraham. It's my grandpa. All right, so this is what I want you to think. I don't want you to be thinking of a European right now, because this is not European. As I said, Yah has already chosen an African. They call it Asia today, but that place was Africa. Babylon originally was on the continent of Africa. It's an African book. And Abram was an African man, but he's not Hamitic. Abraham was from Shem. That doesn't mean he didn't live in Africa with all the other Shemites and Hamites. All right? So he takes Hagar, who's an Egyptian, and Sarah said to Abraham, behold, now Yahuwah has restrained me from marrying. I can't have kids. I pray thee, or she said, he's not allowing me to have kids. So I pray thee, go unto my handmaid, that I may obtain children by her. And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarah. And Sarah, Abraham's wife, took Hagar and made the Egyptian, her maid, I'm sorry. And Sarah, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian. He mentions it again in the book to let you know that she's an Egyptian. After Abraham had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. Do you see that? It's his wife. All right? Just want to make that clear. That Abraham has more children. So this is my main point. Physical. And he went unto Hagar, and he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarah said unto Abram, my wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid unto thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. Uh-oh. Drama. Baby mama drama. Abraham got drama in the house. Why? Because Hagar, when she got pregnant, was like, okay, yeah, you might be wife number one, but I'm the one with the baby. You can't have no babies. And then Sarah got mad, and boom, baby mama drama. It ain't nothing new, by the way. But the difference is, well, I ain't gonna get into that because that's not my lesson today. But can y'all see it? Watch. And Sarah said to Abraham, my wrong be upon you. Upon who? It's upon you, Ed. Why is my wrong on me? Why is your wrong on me? She said, because I gave you, I gave you Hagar, and you shouldn't have took her. You should have said no. That's basically what she's saying. But you didn't. You took her, now she's pregnant, and now she's walking around like she all that and despising me, and I'm your wife, and this is just a crazy situation, and I'm basically saying that it's your fault. Grandma, come on now, let's go. Why you do Grandpa like that? Why you do Grandpa like that? So now Grandpa trying to make peace. She said, Yahuwah judge between me and you. But Abraham said unto Sarah, okay, first of all, look, thy maid is in your hand. Do unto her as it pleases you. And when Sarah dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. Do you see it? I don't know what happened. That word hardly is a very interesting word. I don't know if Grandma gave her a cold-blooded talking to, called her all kind of things outside her name. I don't know if she started bringing up stuff that she ought not. I don't know if she started talking about her African heritage, a Hamite self. I don't know if she started talking about who she thinks she is coming in here. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Grandma actually got beside herself and laid hands on the girl. I don't know what happened. But the Bible kind of covers it and just said dealt hardly. It was so rough that, according to the Bible, she ran. Who? Hagar. Hagar ran from Sarah. So whatever was going on, it was so terrible that Hagar feared for her life. And I don't think Grandma was right. Grandma was wrong. Grandma was wrong for this. And a lot of people try to make Sarah a hero for doing this. Sarah's not a hero for doing this. She tried to cover it up, and she asked Abraham to ask for Yah's judgment. But instead of Abraham using Yah's judgment, Abraham said, but, the Bible said, but Abraham said. But is a conjunction of but is a conjunction, but a conjunction of contradiction. She asked one thing, but Abraham went a different way. So what Abraham is saying is, Grandma said, Sarah, you don't know what you're asking right now. You asking me to bring in Yah on this situation. But I'm not going to do that. Because you don't want Yah in on this situation right now. That's the truth now. I know a lot of y'all don't read the Bible right. But the reason why I read it slow to you is because Christianity has already filled your mind with a bunch of BS. And I can't cuss like Trump, because if I say it like I want to say, if I say it like Trump said it, then all of a sudden, you know, we can't listen to the more. But then Trump drop an F-bomb, and y'all can't wait to hear what he gonna say next. Woo! Hypocrites! Y'all hypocrites. Y'all glued to the TV to see what he gonna say next. He dropped a couple of F-bombs. But the Ray can't even say boo. I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing. Then all of a sudden, ain't you supposed to be a doctor? Dr. Morehyosh? Yeah, but I do have a doctorate, but I grew up in the country. Who's in the room? Let me see who's in the room. Yourself. I'm bilingual. Who's in the room? Netanyahu, I'm bilingual, man. Woo-wee. Boy, if I wanted to, I could rattle them off, man, and y'all would kind of understand it. I just would be speaking in another language. I'll be like, yeah, I guess so. Well, I don't know. How can he speak in that language? I understand it. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. Where am I? Where am I? Y'all not going to have me doing this all day. All right, hold on. Oh, what I was saying was, she asked for Yah to judge, but Abraham did not take it. If y'all see that clear as can be, why? Because the Moreh showed it to you. Put 1,000. No. No. Put a 500,000. I just looked at the time. Put a 500,000 in the chat. If you can see that it says, but Abraham said to Sarah, behold, your maid is in your hand. Do to her as it pleases you. Right? So you see that. And when she dealt hardly with her, so what pleased Sarah was to be mean to Hagar. That made Sarah feel better. And whether it was cussing her out and calling her all kind of names, whether it was threatening her, or whether it was a situation of physical abuse, it was so terrible that Hagar left. Matter of fact, the Bible says she fled, she ran. Now go to verse 7. It says, and the angel of Yahuwah found her. Do you see it? Maury, why'd you bring that up? Because she's married to Abraham. And just because Sarah said, get the hell out my house and get out my face, or it's going to be trouble, or whatever happened to make her leave, that was not, according to the Bible, that was not Yah's plan. Because Yah had already put his word on Abraham, that Abraham would be blessed and his seed would be blessed. So therefore, her being kicked out the house by Sarah was wrong. And treating her so wicked that she ran, even though, remember, she is a servant, a young girl who was thrown into a situation with this old man, Abraham. That wasn't her choice of a husband. Sarah did that. And now that she's pregnant, now you getting mad and cussing her out, now she gotta leave? She's scared for her life. But watch who overrules Sarah. Watch. And the angel of Yah found her by a fountain of water. Did you see it? If you saw that the angel of Yah found her by a fountain of water, if you can see that, I want you to really don't fool the Moreh. If you can see that Sarah kicked her out, but the angel of Yah went to find her and found her. If you can see it, put a 600,000. I'm looking at my time. I'm about to get out. Put a 600,000. Found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. And this is what he said. He said unto her, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence cometh thou? Man, where'd you come from? Why are you out here in the wilderness? Why are you out here out by this fountain? And where are you going? And she said, I'm just running from my mistress, Sarai. I'm just running for my life. I'm just getting out. I can't take it. I gotta go. In verse 9, and the angel of Yahuwah said unto her, go back. Yah overruled Sarah, is my point. And the question is, why? And the answer is because Abraham has a blessing on him that Yah cannot take back. Physical. There's a physical blessing on Abraham and Abraham's children. There is a physical blessing on his bloodline, on his actual children that have flesh and blood. There's a physical blessing tied to them. And you can see it where it says, go back home, submit yourself under her hands. And the angel of Yahuwah said unto her, y'all like, Moreh, how'd you see that? I told you I'm a seer. He shows it to me. And he tells me what to preach before I even come in the room. And sometimes when he takes me to passages like that, he'll show me things on the fly. I'm familiar, obviously, with this chapter, but look how this ties in to what we're talking about. Look at right at the bottom, verse 10. And the angel said unto her, angel of Yahuwah said unto her, I will multiply thy seed. What? That's your children. Exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for the multitude. Stop. What does that mean? That her child from Abraham receives the Abrahamic blessing. Did you see it? If you can see that her child and this child that's going to come out of her, right, her offspring, receive the Abrahamic blessing. Put a 700,000. You can't get around it. Is that my brother from another mother in the room? Shalom. Great Dr. Netanyahu. Welcome in the room. You see that? You see where he says, I'm going to bless you? Verse 10. Why? Because he had already promised the blessing to Abraham. Remember, this is Barak. What did the angel do? Found her, which is the picture of stooping down. Meets her where she is, gives her what she needs to hear, and then attaches the blessing, the Abrahamic blessing, to her and her offspring and her baby. Why? Physical. And the angel of Yahuwah said unto her, behold, you are with child. And I'm going to tell you what it is. It's a boy. I'm going to go ahead and give you a gender reveal now. You having a boy. You're going to call his name Ishmael. Why? Because Ishmael is a Hebrew word that means Yahuwah has heard thy affliction. That's the blessing. On what? The physical side. Then he goes on and tell her, he said, now look, but I'm going to tell you something about this boy. He will be a wild man. This is what it means by that. He gonna fight. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. Physically, I'm gonna bless him. Physically. But I'm gonna tell you something about this dude. He gonna be different. This dude right here is a fighter. And look, some of y'all know people like that. They just fight. Everybody is a fight. Every opportunity to fight is a fight. They wake up with violence on their mind. They love to fight. I remember I had when I was back at the when I was and I hate to even admit that I was one at one time, but at one point in my life I actually was in a Christian church before the Most High woke me up to the truth. And I remember having some pastor friends who love to fight. They love the church fight. They love the argument. They love fighting everything, everybody. They love to fight. Somebody said, who said that? Who said that? Tell them come here. I'm in. And then, they love to go to court. Nigga, I'll take your ass to court. And there I didn't go. I didn't say what Trump said. Because I'm just talking about people who love to fight. They always on the phone. Who says? I bet they won't say it tomorrow. They just love to fight. They get a thrill out of fighting. So you don't have to put Ishmael into some kind of weird category like there ain't nobody else like this on earth. There are some people, they just love to fight. Ishmael was going to be one. Watch this. He going to be a wild man. He will be against every man and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Wait a minute, who's his brother? Oh, he's going to have a brother. Wow. And he's going to have more than one brother. And he will live among his brothers. You see the prophecy? Yeah, I'm gonna have to finish this later. But I think you're starting to see my point. And hopefully you can see it clear. Is that hope you can see it clear. That this prophecy is a blessing. It is the bending of the knee from Abiyah to Hagar and to Ishmael. And it's because of Abraham. And she called the name of and she called the name of Yahuwah that spake unto her, Thou Elohim seeth me. For she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Whoa! Wherefore the well was called Bera La Haroah. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. And Hagar bare a son. It's true. And Hagar bare Abraham's son, physical blood. And Abraham called his son name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Abraham was 86. He was 86 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abraham. The very next verse says, and when Abraham was 90, that's 4 years later. So, I think I'm gonna pause here because I just wanted to prove a point, and I think the point has been proven, that the Abrahamic blessing is to his physical seed. So, Moray, I can hear you talking. So all of Abraham's blessing, all of his children get his blessing. Physical. But remember, the Most High has a promise to Abraham. Although there is a promise also to Isaac, there's a promise to Ishmael. Abraham, here come the truck, right? Well, I'm about to lay down the real truth. Here come the loudest noise that I made all day. But I'm going to lay it down anyway. I got to lay this truth down. Abraham tried to get Yah to use Ishmael to receive the blessing of the land between between the Nile and the Euphrates. He actually tried. He said, yeah, here's Ishmael. I know y'all like, I know that's difficult for you to understand. That because a lot of the Ishmaelites today, they still mad at the Bible because Abraham gave the blessing to Isaac. They still mad over that to this very day. But you don't understand that you haven't been taught the Bible either. That's why you in the room with the Moreh. That's why these lessons are so important, and that's why the algorithm chose you. Because there's a seer in Israel now. There's a seer among the remnant now. I'm a seer. And he raised me up to set the record straight because everybody been lied to so much. So you were taught that Abraham was being mean and being cruel to Isaac. I'm sorry, to Ishmael. And the scripture doesn't say that. When Abayah spoke to him again, he said, here's Ishmael. He was more than willing to give the blessing to Ishmael. But there was a different blessing. Well, Maury, what is that? Spiritual. I think I'm gonna let this sit on your mind. The physical blessing Ishmael already had. We heard that he got blessed before he was born. So the next blessing is physical, Isaac, and spiritual, Isaac. Isaac has two children. Isaac has Jacob and Esau, right? Both sons. They're twins, by the way. And you campers, please stop lying. You're messing up a lot of people and sending people to hell, and you're putting confusion in the world. I've already told you. I sound like Trump now, talking to Netanyahu. I already told you to stop it. That you won't stop. So you're going to go to hell. When you get to the kingdom, you won't be able to say, nobody told me that they lied. No, I told you. And you watched the video, so it's on your jacket. It's on your record. It's written down that I told you to stop saying that the white man is Esau. Stop doing that. I done told you that. And now that I told you, Esau and Jacob are twin brothers, same mama and same daddy. The difference between between Esau and Jacob, listen to the Moreh, is that Esau was more concerned with the physical blessing, whereas Jacob was more concerned with the spiritual blessing. So watch, when you actually read the Bible, you're going to find out that Yah actually blessed Esau and gave him land and gave him dukes and princes and wealth and money and power. Y'all don't have to believe them more. I'm telling you what the Bible says. Read the Bible. Then you won't be always having a knee-jerk reaction every time I tell you something. You should listen at this point in your life to a person who's read the whole Bible versus listening to people who don't know what's in this book. Don't know what's in this book. And it don't matter what you say. Esau was physically blessed by Yah. When they came out, okay, I'm gonna fast forward because I gotta prove some things. Because now y'all brain is like, what are you talking about? Do you know that he even tells you and I that we can't hate him? That you cannot loathe, you cannot hate Esau because that's your brother. Did you know that's in the Bible? You Hebrew Israelites that's waking up to truth and getting pulled into these camps. Y'all gonna learn that. You're gonna learn the scriptures one day. You're gonna see that the Moreh ain't lying when I tell you, Yah can do things you can't. And the fact that you think that because Yah said, Jacob I love, Esau I hate. Now you believe you can hate Esau. He told you can't hate Esau. You can't hate your brother. Now, you can't say, well, you hate him, so I hate him. You're going to hell, I'm telling you, because you disobeying him when he told you you cannot hate your brother. There it is. Deuteronomy 23. I think Nat just put that in the chat. It went away so fast I couldn't see it. Can't do that. And they got you hating your brother. See, that's what all cults do. All cults. Thank you for putting it back in. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. And then you run around talking about, I hate the Edomite. Well, you're going to hell then. Look, I'm so close to the end. Moreh, you don't care? I'm not going to hell for nobody. I don't know how many times you got to hear the Moreh say that. I'm going to tell you what the Bible says because I don't give a damn what these camps teach. They're liars. It's just like the preachers and the pastors. They're all liars because none of them read the Bible. None of them actually read the whole Bible. They don't have it. I do. I read the whole book and tell you what it says. And don't try to get mad at the Moreh for showing you. That was the great doctor put the Deuteronomy passage in the chat. When y'all saw that passage, everybody in there should say, oh shoot, I gotta stop saying I hate the Edomite. Yeah, you better. The Most High said don't do that. Just don't do it. He can, you can't. And by the way, the word hate is a different word. We don't have the word hate in English as the word hate is in Hebrew. The word hate in English is an emotion. The word hate in Hebrew is an action. I don't believe Abba Yah is emotional at all when it comes to the word hate. I don't think his emotions are tied into that word at all. Because the word means to separate. And he basically saying, I just separated myself because he was after that was physical, and that's not who I'm with. I'm with Jacob. Because the word ahava, when it says I love, that particular word doesn't mean to separate, it means to draw close to. And I'm drawing close to him because he's drawing close to me. He's concerned about that which is my concern. And therefore I draw close to him. But watch this. If Jacob decided tomorrow that he's going after the devil, I hate Jacob. I know y'all don't believe that kind of talk. You don't have to. It's okay. But when you start lining up the Bible and find out that he told Solomon after building a temple, look here, man, I see what you did. It's pretty. I see the gold. You even got golden snuffers. Boy, you something else. Not just golden candlesticks, but the thing to put the candlestick out, the snuffer, is golden. Boy, you beside yourself, ain't you? He's like, well, you know, I did this all for you, even though I know you can't fit in here. He said, I hear all that you're saying, bud, but listen, come here. Let me tell you something. Follow after other gods and don't keep my commandments and walk contrary to your father David, and see, won't I tear this thing to the ground? I'll tear this thing up so cold-blooded that people walking by will have to wag their head and be like, what happened here? How did a people so great be brought down so low? And he said, and the answer will be because they refuse to walk in the laws, statutes, and the commandments of their Elohim, and that's why he has done this to them. That's script. Do y'all remember when the Pharisees told the Messiah, they said, we got Abraham as our daddy, so they were claiming something. And the Most High told him, he said, let me tell you something. Yah can raise up children from these rocks if he want to. You know what I'm talking about? So no, we're not getting into that whole sissy, girly, emotional thing that people trying to put on us when it comes to love and hate. It ain't got nothing to do with emotion when it comes to Yah. He don't feel it like that. So therefore, once we understand that Esau was given land, that's a blessing, right? He was given Moab, right? I think that's the name of the no, Seir. Sorry about that. He was given Mount Seir in that area. And he went wicked. But some of his descendants turned to the Most High. Thank you. It is Mount Seir. Thank you. Some of his descendants turned to the Most High and were saved. Not every one of Esau's children going to hell. As a matter of fact, I don't even think Esau going to hell. I'm gonna get out the room. You're not ready for that kind of talk. I know you're not. But when Jacob was scared for his life, and see, Nat knew the verse. I didn't want. I was just trying to tell y'all, like, you a lot of things that you guys don't really understand, right? Because you haven't read the Bible. Me and Nat have read the Bible hundreds of times, and therefore we know these deeper things in the script. The actual man himself, you know that Esau and Jacob showed up together at their daddy's funeral, and when Esau met Jacob, and Jacob, remember, came in and made that big apology with all of his children, Esau said, hey, bud, it's cool between us. Don't even trip, man. The Most High blessed me, man, above and beyond measure. So this idea that Esau is not blessed by Yah is a lie. Esau said, Yahuwah multiplied. He said, man, he's giving me so much stuff. I don't even want your gifts, man. And Jacob said to his brother Esau, man, take the gifts, bud. They went back and forth. He was like, I don't need your gifts. I'm trying to tell you, Yah is faithful to me. That was Esau himself, the man talking, saying that Yah had blessed him. So he didn't need he didn't need his brother's gifts. Finally, he said, man, look, just to prove that you forgave me and forgive me and that we cool, would you just please take it? And then that's the only time Esau was like, boy, you something else, man, but okay. Just if you ain't gonna leave me alone about it, basically is what he was saying. I'm showing you that Yah's promise to Abraham physically, that physical blessing to Abraham is to all of his descendants. So I guess I need to close this video because I'm over time. Let me close it with this thought. So then, why do people keep talking about who is the house of Israel and what's so important about the house of Israel? It's because Israel and his 12 sons got something that the others did not get. All of the descendants of Abraham are blessed. Yah has physically blessed them all. Watch. But only the 12 tribes of Israel, his 12 sons, received automatically by birth both the physical and the spiritual. So when we talk about spiritual Israel is the physical Israel. Talk more, Ray. Spiritual Israel is the physical 12 tribes, are the spiritual 12 tribes. I'm gonna let that sink in because I know you guys can't see it. I know it's like y'all want to call me a name that rhyme with trigger so bad, but before you do, you better read the Bible. In the Bible, the spiritual Israel is the physical Israel. The spiritual tribes are the physical tribes. And that's why this heathen, see, he doesn't know that I'm going to teach this to the world. The Most High set me apart to show the world stuff. So I have to tell the whole world. Why? Because it's been hidden. The world don't know this. So Japheth wants to say that he is spiritual Israel. No, Japheth is Japheth. He want to claim that he, Japheth, has replaced the physical Israel because he's spiritual Israel. But that ain't what the Bible is talking about. Spiritual Israel is the physical Israel that has both blessings. They have both the physical blessing and the spiritual blessing on them. That's who gets the blessing. He has never got rid of Israel to make Japheth, the white people or whoever, to make them or the Christian church the spiritual Israel and get rid of the physical. No, the spiritual and the physical is the same people. That's what made them special, is that they got the spiritual. And I'm going to drop this on you and get up out of here because you ain't even ready to handle this. But the spiritual Israel is the Torah. That's the spirit. Not the Talmud, not the Christian church, not your pastor's church covenant, not some commentary put out by Schofield or Matthew Henry or Clark or anybody, any of these heathens. They going to hell, I keep telling you. Y'all want to follow these heathens to hell? Go on and do it. If you want to follow these campers to hell, go on and do it. We got some Negro campers out here talking about ain't no Messiah and think they ain't going into the kingdom. They going to hell. Do you understand me? Well, I told Yahrahn and Javon yesterday. I said, man, look, every time I get out of the video, I think about things I could have said or should have said. Do you know that do you know that there are camps made of Hebrew Israelites preaching there's no Messiah, and yet think that their name is written in the Lamb Book of Life. Now, please make that make sense. How the hell you are denying that there is a lamb, but thinking that your name is in the Lamb book? Stop that. Ooh, Trump, I need you to say something right here. If you're listening to the Morehyosh, Trump, would you please put something in the chat and tell these people that they don't know what the blank they talking about? I need Trump to say it. He can say it better than me. I can't say it because y'all stop watching me. Trump, if you're listening, can you tell them that these campers don't know what they talking about? You're going to get to the Lamb. You're going you're going to be judged by the Lamb, but you reject the fact that there is a Lamb. You're going to hell. Ain't no Messiah. You're going to hell, bud. And everybody following you going with you. And I already proved it in my other video yesterday. But I was just asking, yeah, now I can tell the whatchamacallit in the room. YouTube is in the room because I used his name. So look. All I was saying was, if he could just say a word on my video, if he could just speak to the people and say that they don't know, these other people don't know and just use the word he used on TV. You know what I'm saying? That's all I was saying. I ain't saying he was right or wrong. That's not my point. I just need him to speak for me because I can't say it right. I can't say it. He can say it. They don't know what they're talking about. The Lamb Book of Life wasn't a New Testament concept. Having your name put in or out that book is not a New Testament concept. Moses talked about it, and so did David. So I wanted to prove that physical and spiritual. All right. Now, what I'm going to do in the next video is I'm going to pick it up right here because I want to conclude with some things concerning our Messiah. And I also want to talk about the group of people who challenged him in his lineage. We'll do that tomorrow. And I want to close talking about Paul's argument when he said, all Israel. Ooh-wee. Boy. That right there, he said, man, there's some out here. What was Paul talking about? Because he said it. He said, man, everybody who claim Israel they're not really Israel. We're going to talk about that tomorrow if y'all let me back in the room. But for now, just understand that the physical descendants of Abraham are blessed. And all of his children are blessed. Yah has, in a sense, stooped down and poured out his graciousness upon them on the physical side. On the flip side, though, there is another group, and that is the children of Israel, that in 12 tribes that ended up with the spiritual blessing, which means that they are the ones that received the Torah. There is no difference between the spirit of Yah and the Torah. This is what set them apart, was this. The word of Yah set them apart. This is my message for tomorrow. Anything outside of this right here, then you're not the spiritual Israel. Because this is the spiritual blessing. This. I'll prove it tomorrow. Thank you for being in the room. If this message encouraged you, send a donation to the station. If this message helped you, send your tithe and your offerings. Keep us full time. Pray for me. I'll continue to pray for you. And as the apocalypse continues, since we're in it now, remember that the revelation of the house of Israel, the true bloodline descendants who are also the spiritual, because they keep the Torah, the revelation of the house of Israel is about to happen. Then the revelation of our great king, Yahushua HaMashiach. And watch this. He's not even from the first tribe. He's not from the second tribe. This is what I'm gonna deal with tomorrow. Y'all not ready for this yet, but he way down from the fourth tribe, which is part of my point when I proved the point that all the tribes were blessed. I know it's deep, ain't it? Okay, I got to go. One love, and y'all keep me in prayer, and of course keep looking up for our redemption draws nigh. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Who is Israel? Biblical Israelites. Physically and spiritually, it's us. Shalom.